Okay, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about neighborhood mapping. This map I created of my neighborhood where I currently live. I consider this map um, walking distance. There's actually a lot of my neighbors that don't have cars or don't have access to cars, and for some reason, like they only take the bus when absolutely necessary. So I just wanted to make a map that was relevant to the area I live. So first off, I'm going to point out my house right here. That's about where I live. Um, it's mostly residential area. A lot of apartment buildings, a lot of houses, but for the most part, a lot of the houses do have small backyards, but definitely large enough to have a garden or something to that extent. But one factor that you do need to look at is I know a lot of these houses are rented, and a lot of the times landlords don't allow certain things and can be picky, especially about digging in the ground and stuff like that. So that's just one thing to take into consideration. The first thing I do want to point out is in walking distance, there is a community garden. It's about, I want to say, 2 acres. You do have to pay to get plots, but there are plots available, and I actually walked through there just the other day, and there's some beautiful stuff going on back there. So that's really nice, especially with all the apartment buildings, to have that community garden, because that just gives people space to grow their own food or grow whatever they'd like. A second asset right here, there is actually a very large park. It has a soccer field, a large play set. There's almost always soccer games going on, and there's a lot of people gathering. Well, it's actually been closed now due to the virus. But before that, there's always soccer games going on, lots of children and families playing, and that just really creates room for engagement and social interaction, which is definitely necessary for thriving communities. Also, really close to my house, there is a small market. They don't have meats. Well, they have some meats. It's a really small, privately owned, but for small needs, it definitely does the trick. I'm not sure how successful it is for people that don't that can't go to like an Aldi or a Kroger. But for small needs, it does do the trick. A couple businesses. There's a beauty supply store, car repair, also liquor stores. Liquor stores are everywhere around here, and also a church. One thing that I think is very interesting about my neighborhood is the social norms are definitely different around here. It's not a big deal to see a prostitute. It's not a big deal to see addicts on the street or anything like that. But in one of my sociology class, one of my professors made a big point that in a lot of these neighborhoods, there are a lot of handful repeat offenders, but for the majority, a lot of the people that live around here are really kind people and really good people, and especially I know my neighbors, they're really good people. There are just a lot of repeat offenders. I feel that really cause a lot of problems. I'm sure it's much deeper than that, but that's what I have gathered so far. A few good points for sustainability is there are a lot of bus stops around. So, so for the people that don't have a car, or for people who just would rather do the carpool thing and save some energy on gas, there are plenty of bus stops. So, if you have a Target, or you could just have some change and you want to get downtown, or maybe to a bigger food source, that's very possible. Um, Also, um, the the walkability of the immediate area. Oh, I also forgot there is a chiropractic care very close to. That's not primary care, but it is something um, that if you don't have a car, you can walk um, to some things, but it definitely could be better. The infrastructure definitely needs some work. Um, there are sidewalks just about everywhere, but in some cases, they're falling apart, or maybe there needs to be like a walk sign in some places, so that could definitely improve in this neighborhood. As far as the businesses, the beauty supply store, I believe, is a mom and pop beauty supply. I actually talked to some of the people that work there, and they all work really hard, and it's a it's a good business for as far as I'm concerned. Also, the car repair, um, fairly close, and yeah.